You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. This is episode 128. It's crazy that we are just pumping these things out, ladies and gentlemen. But my name is Matt McSweeney. Like I said, Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast, brought to you by the Hot Take Hot Box. I'm joined by Ty Capone. Ty, how are you feeling today?
Pretty good. Pretty good on this nice Friday we have. The sun is just it's pretty unbearable. I'm getting to the point that I don't know. I think giving up on going outside anymore. It gets hotter every day. Yeah. Every day of this world, the sun is burning us alive.
Well, yep, you're down there near closer to the equator than I am, so it's I'm sure
close to the sun.
Yeah, it gets a little hot. I'll tell you where else it gets hot. It's going to get hot in the Apex, I think. Are they in the Apex this weekend?
Yeah.
It's going to get hot in the Apex.
Come on, you know they got to come back to their home.
Got to come back to their home for this absolute filth box card that they have going on this weekend. Headlined by Vicente Luque and Rafael dos Anjos.
Where's Sean Shelby at, huh?
Yeah.
Or Mick Maynard. Whichever one of them.
Yeah, one of those guys.
We don't put on bad cards.
Like, you just, be honest about it. It's okay.
Cub Swanson's the co-main event. You're going to tell me this card's not bad? Yeah, give me
a fucking break is what you were about to say. But I guess we should just get right into it, right? No point in beating around the bush, ladies and gentlemen. We have some Bellator this weekend, which I don't think either one of us care all that much about, but I'm sure we'll talk about it on the back half. There's some good fights, but
I don't care if I had to be frank about it. But first off, a 17 fight card is just.
It's too much.
Come on. You got to tell somebody, you got to pull out with, staph infection or COVID or something. They're in Sioux Falls.
Oh, Jesus.
And Logan Storley is from South Dakota. So that's cool. Brennan Ward had that 5-year drug addiction stint. He's a cool story. Other than that, there's, James Gallagher is fighting, your boy.
Yeah. Not anymore.
There's a couple guys buried on the prelims. That's kind of cool.
Kish.
But yeah, the girl that shit herself, right? A couple college wrestlers making their Bellator debut, their pro debut, because Bellator loves signing college wrestlers. That's literally all they do. But yeah, it's deep. It should be kind of fun. There's decent matchups. There's a bunch of names, but other than that, I'm just waiting on the Bellator PFL merger at this point.
And it seems like it's on the horizon. They're kind of promoting Bellator 300 as this is the end. It ends here or something. I saw on one of the posters. So it looks
terrifying.
And it looks like the card's going to be a fucking banger. So that will definitely, you'll have me watching. But
4 title fights.
Yeah, which
crazy.
Hey, no complaints here, but I don't know what they really mean when the next day they're kind of just going to be out in the ether. I actually, for the record, before that happens, love Bellator way more than I love PFL because I just hate the whole regular season. I think that shit is garbage.
They tried something different and it didn't work, And they had some momentum because they were a World Series of fighting. That's where Justin Gaethje came from. That's where a lot of people came from, and it was fun. And then they tried this, we're gonna have an MLB type schedule. It's bro, what are you talking about? That's not how this works. This is an individual sport and it's a brutal individual sport. They're also their whole they have all these signings and their thing was we're not going to drug test, that's how we're going to steal some big names, and then they drug test and then everybody pops and it's well, what are you guys doing? They have the smart cage. We don't know how smart it really is. I don't know.
Everything's promoted. If the guy goes to grab a sandwich, it's promoted by Jimmy John's. If the guy goes to go take a bath or take a piss break, it's promoted by Manscaped. You're like, all right, well. Yeah, I get it, guys. We're trying to grease this for all the money we can, but can we just chill the fuck out for a little bit? I guess I'm asking. But
yeah, Bellator is a better name, also, which is not a great name, but
at least it's better. No, I'm with you. They should just roll it back to Strikeforce, which was a great name. But I believe they sold the rights to that. But who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a UFC big time. This is the card of the year that people are going to say after. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to sit here and just fuck around with all these fucking bullshit. This card's garbage. Let me just go out and say from the rip, not a good card, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, there's 13 fights, I think. There's maybe 2 or 3 of them that are kind of interesting or will have you being
have
like
any kind of implication.
Yeah, exactly.
Is anyone even ranked on this card other than
the top of the card? I really don't think so. But I mean, maybe Poliana Viana is.
Christ!
Who knows? She wants to wear her fucking Naruto fucking headband and shit into the octagon, which.
Yeah, they told her no.
Yeah, so shocked by that, right?
Chris Dawkins ranked at light heavyweight. That's good.
Yeah, he's saying that he could, what's it called? Drop down to 85 at some point. Which then I saw the picture of him at 205. I said, yeah, you definitely have some more to give there, man. I mean, he's still got them. I mean, as a man who has some titties, which is myself, that man has some titties. So
is he gonna fight his brother at 185?
I hope not. I mean, his brother's at CFFC, I think, fighting, God knows who. Shout out to, he fought Jonathan Webb at one point, which was, I don't know why those two were in the same cage, because I feel like Dawkins is much bigger than Webb. But
also, Chris Dawkins fought Danny Holmes, pride of Washington Township, New Jersey. Graduated with my brother. Yeah, I think he was friends with my brother back in high school. He apparently used to beat up people all the time like it was nothing.
But, I'm sure.
Chris Dawkins took care of him. That's for sure.
Well, when you start getting into the UFC game, there's a lot of people who have been beating people up for a very long time who they just tried to make their career out of it. But Rafael dos Anjos, former lightweight champion, he's fighting Vicente Luque, who is known for just brings the war, I guess you can say. And we're going to talk about some of the stuff that he's been going through recently. But dos Anjos is a slight favorite here. I was shocked by this line. I thought it would be much more. I thought dos Anjos would be a bigger favorite than he is in this one. He is a minus 120 favorite to Vicente Luque's minus 102, plus 100. It really kind of varies, but it's around that area. Right away, I got to say, I think I'm betting dos Anjos money line. I think that is about as good a number as you can get on this entire card. But, we're going to talk about Vicente Luque. Was he coming off of a brain bleed?
Yeah, a nice little brain hemorrhage he had against Jeff Neal.
Which he
got cleared. So, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but that's just a huge, huge red flag to me. I mean, this isn't Conor McGregor, but RDA, he throws with dangerous intent. He doesn't have much power, but he has a nice left hand. Solid southpaw boxing. But dude, I mean, it's terrifying to hear. And how old's Luke? 31. Like that, he's also starting to look shot worn. Like it's not even that just randomly happened. Like he's really starting to slow down. I mean, Jeff Neal beat the shit out of him. Bilal Muhammad also did. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't think he's, he has some good offense. He has some good things in his game. He can submit you as a nasty Darce choke. Nasty front chokes in general, good kicks, but he's just really easy to hit nowadays.
Yeah.
Coming off of brain hemorrhaging, I don't know how I'm supposed to, think he's going to win or bet on him or I think he's more unreliable than RDA. RDA, the fight with Aziz, that wasn't great. And the Barberina fight was just an absolute layup. But I think the Moicano fight was tailor-made for him. But I don't know. He's getting really 38, 39. I think he's a bit undersized here at 170. But I don't think he's completely done. I think he still has a little bit left in him. It's not his A game. It's not the best of him, but I think he still has a little bit he can squeeze out.
I also don't think he'll need it against Luque, which I know Luque is going to be much bigger than him, which it is somewhat of a factor, I guess. But I don't know. Like you said, I think Luque just gets hit way too easily, and it's not going to get better with the amount of wars that this guy has been in over recent years.
Yeah, he gets taken down. Like I know he has good subs, but
well, RDA is not going to be no slouch on the ground either. Like in relation to getting submitted, he's only been submitted one time in his entire career. So
he takes everybody down except for Chiesa.
Yeah, and
Leon, but.
And exactly, those are two, not exactly,
And it was,
Chiesa being his own kind of animal, but that's grappling is his thing. I don't know if Luque necessarily, although he can, don't think that's his, bread and butter. So
yeah.
lost to Jeff Neal, which was bad. That was ugly. He was getting beat up for a large portion of that fight before he even got put on his. He ended up going out on his face, basically. The whole medical situation, which is concerning for sure. If this were in a vacuum and you looked at these numbers, okay, and you would say Luque's younger, he is bigger, he's got a 6-inch reach, 3-inch height. He's the guy at 170. RDA has been bouncing back and forth between weight classes. You would say, oh, Luque's the easy pick here. I just don't trust Luque to, like you said, be able to keep this fight standing, and even if it were to stand for large portions, being able to pop that jab and do what needs to be done, because Luque has some of the worst defensive striking I've ever seen. And I don't know if it's on purpose. Like, I've never understood it. And the last time I bet him, which was probably in that Jeff Neal fight, or I don't even know if I did, but it was just, I remember saying to myself that day, I'm not doing this again. Like, that was an ugly, ugly night out. And I can't do that to myself. And some part of me wants to stay away. Part of me thinks, like, I always like betting the bigger guy and the guy who has been at that weight class, and it's not like, a new thing to him, but it's not really a new thing to RDA. And RDA, I think if anybody's going to be able to navigate the height disadvantage or the reach disadvantage, I think it's going to be him. So I'm going to go RDA money line.
And in the Bilal fight, it's something to note that Luque got hurt a couple times to the body from body kicks, and RDA loves firing out some nice body kicks. So something to look for.
Are you taking RDA? Or are you staying away?
I'll take RDA money line. I think RDA decision is a nice little prop parlay piece. I think I'm going to play that in a little DraftKings prop parlay.
Minus 120 for the people out there.
I feel like he could maybe finish him. I don't know. I think he's kind of, like I said, he's probably almost at that point where he's done. RDA. I mean, he's had a couple surgeries. He's fought for so fucking long. I mean, dude, we were talking about before the podcast. 2008 he made his UFC debut. 21. Dude, he's 21-12 just in the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot more fights than people have.
He's had a longer career than Vicente Luque has in his entire career, just in the UFC.
Crazy.
So,
and Luque's been around the block.
Yeah.
Like, Luque, I think, as an amateur, was fighting, these killers. So, or on the regional scene. So, I can't believe that Vicente Luque lost to Hader Hassan. I thought that guy sucked. That guy was terrible, was he not?
I thought so. I mean,
he lost, I guess, on the Ultimate Fighter. I forgot he was on, and then he beat him afterwards. So there you go.
Got it back.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Luque can catch RDA and something because, I don't know how durable RDA is. It's just we haven't really seen him. Barberina was not ever going to beat him. That was just never going to happen. I think Moicano really just didn't have the structure in his game to beat him. So we'll see. I mean, I think RDA is probably done. I just don't know, when. I think both these guys are pretty much done, which is an interesting main event.
Which makes it tough to bet. But, yeah, I'm going to trust that RDA's wrestling kind of at least neutralizes or equalizes this fight. Any sort of height or reach advantage that Luque may have is going to be neutralized. I do worry about him getting caught in a choke or something along those lines. But, RDA, like I said, he hasn't been subbed, just once in his entire career. So I'm not going to get all that worked up about this. And I don't even know when that submission loss was, which it probably was back in the day. So
yeah.
Give us RDA money line. Lock it in. Cub Swanson, Hakeem Dawodu. Now, Hakeem Dawodu is really just mean Hakeem. A guy we really don't see all that often, it seems. Well, at least we haven't seen him in a while. It's been almost a year since his loss to Julian Erosa, a win against Michael Trezano, which is a good win in theory because that guy. I mean, it seems like he's tough to outlast. He either wins or he loses. He's just kind of he's right there. I know it sounds stupid, but he just sent Sung Woo Choi to the Shadow Realm. So and a loss to Movsar Evelev. So that's that has aged well, as much as a loss can. Cub Swanson, we know, older gentleman, definitely an older gentleman. You could argue he's probably cooked. Well, I mean, we probably would agree with you if you said that. Dawodu has a 2-inch reach advantage, and I think minus 225 favorite, 230 to Swanson's plus 190 on some websites here. So I guess I'll ask you, Ty, what you think about this one first.
I think Dawodu probably. I think he probably decisions him. I think Cub could have like the submission grappling edge, but he doesn't really use it. He doesn't ever use it. I don't think. Let me try to find some of his grappling stats. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. There's not really many takedowns ever or attempts. The only time he. Oh man, I forgot when he fought Artem Lobov. That was a main event.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he didn't even finish him.
That's I don't even know what to say about that. But yeah, I mean he's completely done.
Dude. 5 rounds of that.
At least he landed like 200 strikes. Yeah, I mean, his last loss was by leg kicks. His last loss before that was by body kicks. So his durability is just from head to toe gone. The problem with Dawodu is, man, he just doesn't really he's quick. He has good striking. He has very fast hands, but very good footwork. But he doesn't hit hard, and I feel like he doesn't really push. He doesn't really, chain together big combos. Like he'll throw a 1-2, he'll throw some hooks, he'll throw nasty kicks. But I don't know, man. He doesn't really just throw a 4, 5, 6 punch combo like you'll see from like Yasmin Lucindo. I know, completely
crazy
different fighter,
name
but,
to just drop in there, but
just because she's on the card, but she's somebody that will throw like a 7-punch combo. Dawodu just throws like 2, 3, and that's it. He moves a lot, moves really well. Very good athlete. His defensive grappling, it's a bit weak. Of his 3 losses, or his 1 loss, is in the UFC. I think it was his debut. Yeah, Danny Henry guillotined him, quick, easy. So that kind of worries me. He had a very tough fight with Kyle Bochniak. He finished that dude Yoshinori Hori. That's his only finish in the UFC, and it's really his only finish in a long time. I think that guy wasn't good. He had a couple of splits. I don't know, man. He fights on thin margins a lot, it seems like. So I think maybe like Cub still has power. Cub has some subs, but I don't think he has many wins left in it. I mean, yeah, Darren Elkins a couple of years ago, but that was almost 2 years ago, and Darren Elkins is more cooked than he was. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't really love this fight. I do like Dawodu, but he's kind of disappointed a lot of people lately. Really, honestly, since the head kick knockout, he's really just been kind of boring. So I think he's going to win a decision here. I think he's going to outstrike him, maybe win a kickboxing match at range, maybe lose a round or parts of a round if Cub can use grappling. I think he could definitely steal the fight, honestly. I just don't think he's going to do it. But we'll see. He's a vet. He's been around a while. I don't know how much he has left, but give me Dawodu decision, no bet.
I'm going to take Dawodu decision on the card, plus 210. I like that number. When you said it, I was like, here, let me check that number out. And I agree with you.
He like 200.
Yeah, I think he could easily get Cub out of there with maybe landing a shot because Cub is not exactly a spry chicken or young gentleman anymore. But I don't necessarily see that happening. I mean, Cub is smart. It's probably going to play out a lot on the outside. And maybe Cub could probably sneak a split decision. This is gonna be a close fight, I think, a lot closer than that line would say. I don't trust Dawodu. I should be able to trust him against a older Cub Swanson who has shown like he can only his last couple wins. I mean, he did finish people, but Daniel Pineda, Darren Elkins, Crone Gracie, Artem Lobov, like that's. No, and I had to go back to 6 years ago for the Artem Lobov win. There's a lot of losses in that sheet right there. So, yeah, I'll take Dawodu, and I will take the decision, and I will get on out of there. So we keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. Khalil Roundtree and Chris Daukaus. Chris Daukaus making the jump down to 205 pounds after getting his chin disintegrated. He is funny on the press conference. He's like, you try go getting hit by Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis, and Jairzinho, and tell me how well your chin holds up. But I mean,
yeah, seriously.
Well, yeah, but he got eliminated in 23 seconds by Jairzinho, and I get it, but Khalil Roundtree also hits hard, okay? And he is a large gentleman, physicality-wise. And he's got 3 wins in a row. This is not going to be an easy night out for Mr. Daukaus. I am pulling the lineup right now. We have a plus 150 for Chris Daukaus, minus 175, 185 for Khalil Roundtree. So he's a considerable favorite. This seems like a stay away from. There's a lot of unknowns that I don't really like, and I could see Daukaus having some success from the outside, though. I just, I don't know. His chin really does concern me, and I don't know how dropping in weight is gonna. I mean, the guys are gonna be less powerful, and I don't really think he's going to be like drained from this cut. I don't think it's like heavyweight to 205 is not like a losing your entire all your water and you have nothing left to give. Like, I think he's still going to be in good shape, I would imagine. But I really do like Daukaus at that number. I just don't know if I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I think Daukaus has fought at light heavyweight one time in his career before the UFC. I can't find when or where, but the thing at heavyweight that he had was the speed advantage. He was quicker than all of them. He started out his career fighting Parker Porter, Rodrigo Nascimento, Alexei Oleinik, and Shamil.
Yeah.
All slow. But he knocked all of them out. 4 knockouts in a row to start your UFC career. No matter who it is, that's impressive, right? That's you won your entire contract. All knockouts, one of them in the second round. So, and then you go from those 4 to the next 3. Quite the shift in talent and power and skill. It's going to Lewis, to Blades, to Jairzinho. Moving down, I don't think he's going to have that speed advantage, and he's not very big. He's not very athletic. So I think the jury's still out on him. And honestly, the same could be said about Khalil Roundtree. Like, what Khalil Roundtree are we going to get? When he's on, he's on. His last fight against Jacoby, I think I thought he lost that fight. Very, very close. Before that, he knocked out, Bukauskas, Roberson. He knocked out he beat Anders, smoked Eric Anders. Beat the shit out of Gokhan Saki. They tried hyping him up as a kickboxer. He put him down in a minute. Knocked out Paul Craig, which, has aged very well. But before that, he got absolutely dog walked by Tyson Pedro, smoked by Andrew Sanchez. Marcin Prachnio fucking cooked him on that Dustin and Connor card. So it's like, I don't know which version of him we're getting. Remember, Kudalaba mounted him and just smashed him into oblivion? Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. He's jacked. He looks the part. He hits hard. But I don't know, man. I think, if Chris Daukaus kind of implements that, like, clinch game against the cage, maybe try to take him down. I think Chris Daukaus is a black belt. I think he has solid boxing. I don't know if he really wants to stay in that boxing range for long. I think he can get clipped. And obviously, he's been knocked out by some big, strong guys, but he's been knocked out nonetheless. All of his losses, I think, are by knockouts. So that's, Roundtree is a one-dimensional kickboxer, very inconsistent. And I don't know really what Daukaus is going to do at 205 in the UFC, I'm sure his power will carry over. He has like 7 or 6 knockdowns in the UFC. So there's that, but I don't know. I'm going to stay away from this. I kind of want to take a shot on Chris Daukaus. What's his line? Plus 180. Yeah, I'm going to stay away. I think I don't know.
I'm not going to put it on the card, but I will in my private life probably fire a little Chris Daukaus wager too. Just get keep some action going throughout the night. It's just that seems like a rough. This is a lot of unknowns. I don't really like to bet when there's a lot of unknowns, and I don't, like you said, I don't trust either one of these guys. Khalil Roundtree, the one who gets cooked version could show up, or the Chris Daukaus where you touch his chin and he just goes into autopilot could happen. So staying away from that one. How about Poliana Viana, Yasmin Lucindo? You are a big Yasmin Lucindo stock buyer. I have been told you have a lot of stock in her and her abilities. Poliana Viana. Not so much, right? I mean, you are a fan of her. Yeah. You have bought stock in her Instagram, but you have necessarily not bought stock in her fighting ability. She is a underdog in this one, plus 165. to Yasmin Lucindo's minus 200. I guess if you're going to bet Lucindo, you're going to hope that she gets the finish. I just don't know if that's the move here.
Yeah. I guess she could kind of do what she did to Brogan Walker and, get takedowns, get top time, and kind of just grind out a decision. Brogan Walker's pretty bad, though. I mean, she's old and not good. The problem I have here, so you set all of that up just for me to play Polyana Viana by sub. That's my play here. I think it's a dangerous game, though, man. Like, she'll do what she did against Tabitha Ricci and just get taken down a bunch of times and throw up submissions that don't come close, and it drives you fucking crazy. Drives me insane. When she fought Hannah Cifers, I want to fucking blow my head off.
Yeah.
And when she fought Veronica Hardy, same thing. She got armbarred by Veronica Hardy. Like, that should have happened. But ever since then, the last couple of years, they haven't been good. Jinyu Fry's not good. Mallory Martin isn't good. Emily Whitmire isn't good, but she did what she had to do against them. Armbarred Martin and Whitmire and knocked out Jinyu Fry within like a minute. She's pretty good. She's like I don't know, what would you call her?
Specialist?
She's kind of like but she's kind of like a bully, like offensively.
Yeah.
Like when she comes forward,
the best
she's
hammer, she's not a great nail.
Yeah, she's pretty terrifying. Like, she throws hard. She has nasty offense from every part of her game, but she likes to give up her back. She likes to play on her back. That sounds dirty,
Shout
but
out.
She likes to give up minutes, give up time, like give up position. And it's very infuriating to watch. It's why she lost to Hannah Cifers, who that should never happen.
No.
And JJ Aldrich, too. The problem I have, though, with Lucindo is she's very green. She's 21. She was born in 2002. Like, that's crazy to think about, honestly. I know she has a lot of fights, and she gets a lot of stock. Like, a lot of her stock was high because of her debut against Unity, when she, was fight of the night, or would have been fight of the night if David O'Neill and Nate Landwehr didn't fight right after,
Yeah.
So, and she got beat up, though. She kind of got outstruck and outboxed in almost every exchange. She's just tough, and she was landing some shots of her own. And Yasmin Yurligi, her stock's down, way down. So, maybe that fight hasn't aged well. I thought she should have finished Brogan Walker, didn't even come close. I just think she, I don't know, man. I think she's high volume, but I think she's hard to trust against somebody like Polyana Viana, who's 4-4 in the UFC. Not great, not the most skilled, but she has arm bars. She has a bunch of arm bars. And if I remember correctly, Yasmin Lucindo has 3 of her 5 losses. 3 of her 5 losses are by sub, and like you said, she has been arm barred. I'm going Polyana Viana by sub. I think maybe she gets taken down, maybe she gets knocked down. Lucindo's tough. Also, Polyana Viana's bigger, man. I know she has that like tall woman defense. She's not that big, but she leaves her chin way up in the air. She also fades late, but in that first round, man, she has nasty subs. She has nasty left hooks. I think she gets Lucindo out of here in the first round with the sub. Honestly, I think maybe it gets sketchy for early. Maybe she gets taken down and nothing's going on. You're like, great, this fight's over. But I think she's going to throw something up. And Lucindo's small, short arms, 5'2", 5'3", so I think she's going to catch her in something and armbar or rear naked choke. She gets her back, it's over. So I'm take a shot here. I know.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't trust her. It's hard to do, but I'm doing it.
I don't blame you. I think this is a interesting one just based off that. You don't really know either one. What version of either one's going to come out? You don't know. Like the one. Here's a couple of things that I'm just going to tell you right away. I am going to bet fight doesn't go to the decision plus 110. I just think somebody is getting finished. Like you said, if she plays that back game that she likes to play, then I think she's either going to get the submission or she's going to get finished. Yasmin Lucindo has finished 10 of her 14 wins, and I believe Polyana Viana has never won a fight that she didn't finish. She's got 5 knockouts, 8 submissions. So I could easily, like you said, easily see her kind of Brogan Walkering it and just kind of playing it safe on top. But I could also see
have hard starts, too. So like this could be a fucking war for as long as it lasts.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a 7-minute. Like I could definitely see that. That's why this line is kind of close to. And very rarely, you know this, Ty, that you see a women's fight with this close of odds to a decision or not decision. They usually are, fight to go to decision is minus like 300, 400 because the power difference between this and the men's is just understandably different. So I'm going to take that fight to go to decision. So fight that doesn't go to decision, sorry, before you guys all just run to the windows and wave your tickets and your money at the people. Fight doesn't go to decision plus 110 for that one, and we keep it moving. Tafon Nchukwi, AJ Dobson. This is kind of an absolute filth box. This is where we start entering the filth box element of the card.
Oh, this is really weird. Filth box.
This is disgusting.
The filth take filth box.
Yeah, the filth take filth box is back. AJ Dobson's a plus 120 underdog to Tafon Nchukwi's minus 130. Yeah, minus 130, 145, 150. All right, it's actually higher than I thought it was. But do you like anything here? Right away, like when I saw it, just said, nope, stay away. AJ Dobson is a middleweight. It says on his last fight was at middleweight. This is at middleweight as well. So Tafon is going down, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think that plays a factor at all?
Well, Tafon's not that big. I think AJ is probably still bigger than him. I don't even know who to pick here, man. Like, I don't think either of these guys are. I think they're both green. Like, what are they? 6-3 and 6-2, man. Like, I don't know.
This shouldn't. If someone's going to sleep here, right? I guess that's why this is this high up on the card.
Maybe, but maybe not. Like, Tafon couldn't even finish Jamie Pickett.
True.
Like, he had that disappointing fight where he couldn't finish Jamie Pickett, and then he comes back and loses a pretty close fight to John Young Park. Like, that was kind of impressive. And then he can't finish Mike Rodriguez, and then he's beating Azamat Versakana, and then he gets flying knee. And then the Ulberg fight, it was a bad matchup. Ulberg's honestly pretty solid, especially if it's just standing. And then AJ Dobson, I've just never really been high on him. Honestly, like, he came into the Contender Series with some hype. He finished that guy on the Contender Series. And then he fought Malkoun and Petrosian. Those are probably pretty tough matchups, but, like, he got smoked. He's just slow, very, very low. He fights on the thinnest of thin margins. He's a striker, like, with some solid, like, speed and athleticism, but he doesn't have much power. He doesn't have much volume. And then Tafon is kind of the opposite. Tafon has a lot of volume, but like, durability isn't great. His grappling isn't great. He has power. I don't know.
I would stay away from that.
He has power, but he can't finish Jamie Pickett. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not really. It just shows a lot of greenness in both fighters. I see easy mistakes that they both made. I think Tafon should win. I don't think Dobson's really good at all, but I mean, who the fuck knows in this fight?
The problem is there's really not anything to bet and get behind here in this one because Dobson's never been finished, although it's only 8 fights. He's never fought anyone like Nchukwi, obviously, but it doesn't really. I don't think that's really gonna matter all that much. Like, is there really a possibility that Tafon subs him or anything like that? I mean. He's got what? No submissions.
Anybody?
He's got no submissions on his record.
I mean, maybe he knocks him out late, but like, I don't know. I think he, having more power and higher volume will help him. But AJ Dobson, man, if he wants to wrestle him and kind of wrestle fuck him, I don't see how he couldn't maybe have success doing that because I believe, in his fight with who was it? Not Petrosian, but I already forgot his name.
This fight is so
when he fought Petrosian, he took Petrosian down. But I know Petrosian's more of a kickboxer, but still, he got taken down 6 times by Malkoun, but he got some against Petrosian. I think he should be the better grappler, but yeah, I'm good. I'm good on this fight.
Yeah, I think I really want to bet Nchukwi inside the distance, but I'm not going to take it on the card. I have to. I'm trying to be smarter about firing everything that I see, and this is something that I would bet Nchukwi inside the distance, but don't trust it, not taking it. So, Josh Fremd, Jamie Pickett, Jamie Pickett is coming off of a loss to Bo Nickel. Got arm triangled in the first round, I believe. Lost to Dennis Tululian, which is hard. I mean, I hate to just be going out and saying that, but that's horrible. And, Kyle Darce choked him at the end of the first round. So he has had a rough run of fights here. And speaking of
he got smoked by Jordan Wright within a minute.
He did.
Also bad.
I am going to take...
Charles Burt. Oh,
I am going to change my mind. I'm taking in Nchukwi.
Okay.
I'm taking in Nchukwi.
I thought you always were.
No, I'm taking it on the card, inside the distance.
Okay. You got to change it hard when you saw the name Jamie Pickett. You're like, I got to bet something.
Yeah, you're like, listen, I saw some of these other ones, and I'm like, dude, there might not be a lot of bets left, so let's take the ones that we kind of like. Listen, I think Josh Fremd is the easy pick here. I have been a big-time fader of Jamie Pickett, and I think it's going to bite me at one point. I mean, he's obviously one of the bigger favorites on the card, so that's not that hard to figure out. But I could see some sort of submission happening here.
Yeah, that's what should happen, right? I mean, Pickett's been subbed 4 times. Josh Fremd, who it looks like his nickname is no more. R.I.P. to the Big Yins.
Wow.
His nickname is off the Tapology completely and off the UFC stats.
Damn it.
Here's another instance where we're like, oh man, I can't trust this guy. Getting guillotined by Trayshawn Gore, not a great look, right?
Horrible.
But he came back. He came back out there and submitted Cedric Dumas, who I for some reason put my money on, and pretty much smoked.
But then Cedricus came out and put on a wrestling clinic the next time he was out there. So
against Brundage, right? Yeah. Who knows what's going on in this middleweight?
That guy stinks.
But Jamie Pickett's probably the worst of the worst, right? Dude, he got smoked by Dennis Tululian, who's one of the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? He beat Joseph Holmes by decision. Again, worst of the worst. Dude, to get finished in the first round by Charles Byrd and Jordan Wright. I mean, come on. Charles Byrd is terrible. Oh man, Jamie Pickett just isn't good. There's I hate to be this guy, but what does he have going for him? He's athletic and he's big. That's it. He's I guess he clinch fights sometimes and that works for him. The problem is Josh Fremd has really good clinch knees.
Yeah.
And he changed takedowns and submissions off of the clinch. I don't think Josh Fremd should be minus, whatever he is against anybody. But he has I think, an easy path to victory here. I want to take his sub, and I feel like he'll probably go for a knockout. But he hasn't, ever since he's been in the UFC or even a little bit before the UFC, he's been getting submissions. And I think that's just going to be so easy. I'm sure he can knock out Jamie Pickett, but
sure.
It's going to be easy work to submit him, I think. I'm going to give me Josh Fremd by submission.
All right, I'm taking it with you as well at plus 250. So
yeah, what's knockout?
Knockout is plus 215, 250, 270. So it's right around. They really don't know either way. It's just inside the distance is minus 135. So it's.
I mean, he's probably going to. I could see him hurting him on the feet just because Fremd doesn't have good striking. Really at all, his defense especially. He doesn't like getting hit. His hands are down, but he has some power and he throws hard and he throws good low kicks. So maybe he hurts him and he fucks us over. But I think he should just, even if he hurts him, club and sub or. I liked his defensive grappling in some of these situations too. I believe the Fluffy fight where he could have gotten subbed a couple times, but he kept defending himself. And the Trayshawn Gore fight didn't obviously go his way, but. I mean, this is where Jamie Pickett exits the UFC.
Trayshawn Gore would beat Jamie Pickett as well, so let's say that off the rip. But wow, that's right. Cody Brundage did beat Trayshawn Gore, but we've realized that Cody Brundage is the most hot cold fighter of all time because he
just cut them all.
Yeah, cut them all. Let's just kind of clean out this 85 division a little bit and keep it moving. But how about Marcus McGee, JP Bays? Your boy JP getting back in there. He's a plus 300 underdog to a Marcus McGee who's minus 400. So this is the biggest favorite on the card, more than likely. Ty, what do you like here? Do you like anything? I mean, obviously Marcus McGee is probably the pick, but I know we kind of talked about it last episode where this was kind of going to be the pick. But do you like any bets here?
I want to shit on JP Bays really badly. But I feel like I honestly feel like he's not like that. Like, he has some skill, I feel like.
Yeah.
I think he's much better at 135 than 125. Like, remember he fought Montel Jackson? He had him in a guillotine. He got him out like a minute in. He has good scrambles, and I think he has like some good offense. He's a decent hammer, not the biggest hammer, but he's a decent one. But man, he is one of the worst nails ever. Bruno Silva smoked him. Cody Durden, treated him like nothing, and Montel Jackson couldn't finish him, but he did, make easy work of him, taking him down 4 times, knocking him down 4 times. Yeah, it's the problem. JP Bays has been knocked down 8 times in the UFC. He has 3 fights. So I think it's safe to say he doesn't like getting punched. He doesn't have a good chin. Even before that, he got remember on the Contender Series, he got the first Contender Series fight, he got absolutely smoked by that Joby Sanchez guy. And that dude was not that good, honestly. He hasn't fought really in like 4 years. I just think JP Bays has 0 durability. His submission wrestling is probably the way to go. And it's funny because Marcus McGee is obviously, he's a striker. That's pretty much all he's looking for. His one loss, he did get taken down. He got his back taken quickly and rear naked choked by a credentialed Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So I feel like that could kind of happen again. I don't think his win over Johnny Newsom is something to write home about. But I do think he has powerful striking. He's very physical. He's improving his grappling, training with O'Malley and all that. He's bigger than Bays by I think substantial amount. I would say 3 inches of height and only 2 inches of reach, but just way more physical. I just think Bays is a cooked product, honestly. Like, he's had a lot going on in his personal life.
We definitely talked about that on here.
I feel like this is a really sneaky spot for him to win by sub. I kind of want to play it, just like in my personal life. I'm not going to put it down. I'm not going to take anything because I think there is a better chance than people are giving him credit for getting a win. Maybe a sub, maybe he just steals rounds by getting takedowns and laying them. I think he's much better on the ground than Marcus McGee, but also much worse on the feet where the fight starts. So, yeah, I think my gut tells me McGee knocks him out.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to play it. Also, I think JP Bays' takedown accuracy is not great, so maybe McGee, as long as his cardio lasts, can just either stuff or work his way up. I don't know. Honestly, I think there's a little bit unknown here too with McGee. He's only had 1 UFC fight, so yeah, I'm going to stay away.
I'm going to trust McGee being the bigger guy. JP Bays obviously is going to be looking for that takedown, and this is a guy in McGee who's fought at featherweight. He's fought he's going to have a size advantage over him, and I think he's going to, like you said, have a big power advantage. And for a guy who doesn't like to get hit, he's going to get hit at some point. So I'm going to bet that Marcus McGee TKO -145, and I'm going to lock that in here real quick. So how about Terrence McKinney? Quick turnaround for your boy, T-Rex. Kind of just trying to get that taste out of his mouth over the Sadikov. Sort of just really quick turnaround, like not turnaround, but he faded radically in that fight. And Sadikov just, McKinney dominated the first round, got taken down in the second round, and was done within the minute of that happening. And, he's coming off these 2 straight losses, basically. He's fighting Mike Breeden, who, yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, Money Mike Breeden, who he's also coming off of 2 losses, Natan Levy and Alex the Great, which that's a...
He won that Levy fight. I don't know.
It was a close one. It was a close one, but they kind of like Levy anyway. So
getting a 30-27 was ridiculous, but I digress.
That's the typical judging in this game. Terrence McKinney's a big favorite though, -270 to Mike Breeden's +255, or I'm sorry, +225, 220. Ty, I don't really know if this is a bettable one. I mean, if you're going to bet, I guess you're going to try and hope that Terrence McKinney gets him out. I mean, I just said in last month's episode that I'm never betting Terrence McKinney again, but
And then he took a short notice fight against Mike Breeden.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like,
And you're like, well, yeah, like he should win this one, and he actually should get him out of there. But
so I feel like there's like 4 or 5 fighters on this card who have lost 3 in a row or are 0-3 in the UFC. One of the two. He is one of them. Mike Breeden is 0-3 in the UFC. JP Bays has lost 3 in a row. Chris Dawkins has lost 3 in a row. Like, who else? I think Pickett has lost 3 in a row. Like, that's pretty much the story of this card.
yeah,
We're going to make some cuts, is what the UFC is saying with this card. It's funny because Mike Breeden, when he fought Alexander Hernandez, I mean, he got smoked, right? He got run over. But that was a very, like, he's not on Alexander Hernandez's level. He actually stuffed 2 Alexander Hernandez takedowns, which I thought was kind of shocking because he got taken down by Levy 9 times. Got 3 of his own. So, like, he hasn't been subbed before. I want to say McKinney subs him quick because, like, I mean, listen, he has some. The thing with Terrence McKinney is you get him out in the first round, it's over. You won. Congratulations. Whatever kind of however you're feeling after the first round, it doesn't matter. You've won, pretty much. But he has some pretty decent wins, like the Frevola and Fares Ziam wins. Both have aged well. I think they probably both beat him if they run it back, but
it's not
like
important right now.
No, definitely not. I think he gets Breeden out here in the first round. I don't know if he knocks him out or subs him. Is my problem. He hasn't. He used to knock everybody out, and then he came to the UFC and started working on his grappling, and he started submitting everybody. He's very athletic, very quick. Again, he could beat Conor McGregor in the first 2 minutes, but then he could lose to CM Punk in the second round.
Jesus Christ.
Mike Jackson as well. So, like, the problem with him is, man, his footwork is just so terrible. Like, he just stands there and moves, like, his body but doesn't move his feet. Like, if he moved around like Hakeem Dawood would do, he would be so much better. But he's got that bully mentality, too. Like, if he's taking the fight to you, it's over. But if you fight back a little bit or if you survive a little bit, you're done. He's done. I think he beats Mike Breeden here easily. I don't know. If Mike Breeden gets out of the first round, he probably wins, though, honestly. But he doesn't like getting hit, and he gets taken down easily. So, like, how does he win McKinney here? However he wants, I think. I think he subs him, but I'm not taking anything.
I'm going to take McKinney wins in round 1 minus 135.
Wow.
I mean, that just seems like a good bet, good number. The jump from that to round 2 is plus 650, 700 in the second round.
Yeah,
so
that's not happening.
Vegas is telling you it's either one round or nothing. So I'll just take my
Honestly,
chance.
If you're a live better, and if this fight escapes the first round, hammer your money on Mike Breeden. You'll probably get him in the first spot. Honestly,
Seriously, you'll get a good number probably.
It probably won't happen. Also, so.
You never know, and it's a quick turnaround. So, I mean, I imagine he would be in relatively good shape. He didn't take all that much damage in the last fight.
No, he was just tired. But
yeah, he just got subbed. But let's keep it moving. How about we got is this the Francis Marshall?
The Fire
Marshall getting in there against Mr.
Midwest Chopper?
Isaac Dulgarian. Not to be confused with the
Dan
family.
Bilzerian?
No, well, Dan Bilzerian and the family from the Game of Thrones, the Targaryens. But this is the Midwest Choppa, as you have said. You are a big fan of the Choppa getting in there. He is coming off of a big win against T.J. Britton at FAC, looking for a fight last February. So it has been over a year and a half since Mr. Choppa has been in the octagon. Or in the cage, getting his shit off. Francis Marshall, he's coming off of a loss to William Gomis, which was a very close fight. I thought he won that fight, if I remember correctly. But I think I had Marshall also inside the distance. So I don't really remember how that fight played out completely.
He threw like 2 strikes, Francis Marshall, the whole fight.
Okay, well, there you go. So then that is a big concern going into a situation like this. Marshall is a minus 175, 185 favorite to Mr. Choppa's plus 154, 145. That is Bulgarian for the record for you people out there who have no idea who the fuck I'm talking about. But Ty, who do you like here? Do you like anything on the card? My instinct is no.
No. Listen, the last time we saw Francis Marshall, he landed 11% of his significant strikes.
That's bad.
15 of 132 against William Gomis. Brutal. I want to give him a bit of a pass because William Gomis is a big dude. Like, he should be fighting at lightweight, maybe even welterweight, honestly. And before that, he was getting beat by Marcelo Rojo before he got a knockout. And then the fight in the Contender Series, he didn't even get a finish. So I have no idea what to think of Francis Marshall. He has a wrestling background. He's kind of like a cardio bully. He'll always hang around there and just wear on you. But his striking defense isn't good. His striking offense really isn't good at range. Even his debut was like I said, against Rojo, it was very shaky until he got that knockout. The problem is, like, his last fight, Gomi, is big and physical. Isaac Dolgarian is a lot different. He's 5'7". I think he might have a same reach as Marshall. But the thing about Dolgarian, if you want to watch his entire career, it spans like 5 minutes. Like, literally, if you look at his amateur fights, there's 4 amateur fights, 5 pro fights. They've all ended very, very quickly. So, he's fought nobody. Even that guy, TJ Britton, who's 7-2, that dude stinks. And he's like 40, he's like 40-something. And he put that dude to sleep. I don't think he's woken up since then. So, like, I don't know what to think about this Dolgarian dude. He wrestled in Notre Dame. He wants to take you down, ground and pound you, and literally ground and pound you through the fucking Earth's core. Like, that's what he wants to do, man. It's very,
powerful.
He knows where his bread is, but on the feet, doesn't look great. He looks like very uncomfortable. Also, his UFC debut was supposed to be against Daniel Argueta, got delayed because he tore and then retore his LCL.
Wow.
That was 7 months ago. Not sure how he is. Carson Wentz tore his LCL once, but he also tore his ACL. So a lot different. I just don't know. I know nothing about the Chava at all, and I honestly don't know much about Francis Marshall. So
stay away.
Stay away. Like Francis Marshall minus 180. Oh, I'm good.
No, I'm good on that. Josh Parisian, Mr. Parmesan, getting back in there against Martin Boudet, who we have made fun of many a time on this podcast, but he just continues to win, it seems. But it was the last time. 20. Yeah, it was February. He took a victory over Jake Collier.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, Brzezinski, he has a W against Huggy Bear. He won a unanimous technical decision. So I guess
poke his eye through his skull.
He's a favorite here. I don't like this at all.
I think Budai easily wins. I'm going to play Budai by decision.
Okay.
I don't think he doesn't hit hard. He's not a finisher. He fights close, low volume, not much power. But he has pretty good cardio for a guy who literally has to cut to 265. Like he's got a belly on him, that's for sure. And Lucas Brzezinski outstruck him for sure. And I think Jay Collier even fought him pretty closely. But he just wears you down against the cage, man. It's just what he does. And I think that's just there's many ways to beat Josh Parisian, but I think that's definitely one of the ways to beat Josh Parisian. I mean, dude, Josh Parisian got taken down 6 times against Dontel Mays and fucking smashed. Parker Porter took him down a couple times. Roque Martinez fought him very closely. Like, Jamal Pogues laid on him for 15 minutes. I don't see how Martin Budai doesn't do the same thing. I think this is an easy play. Neither are good, but Martin Budai has a clear game plan and Josh Parisian has a clear deficit. That dude, he got knocked down by Alan Badeau. He got knocked down by Alan Badeau. Like, the Black Samurai. That dude fought in the UFC 4 times and got, like, absolutely shelled and just destroyed and dominated every minute of his UFC tenure, except for the minute he knocked down Josh Parisian. So, I think this is an easy parlay piece. Whoever else you're, like, high on, like Josh Friend, parlay him with Martin Budai. That's easy work. So
I'll take the decision with you.
Decision. Yeah, I mean, if he knocks him out, so be it. But all his wins are by decision, and he also, a couple close fights. So
and Parmesan puts, he doesn't quit easily. So we'll see what he.
Yeah, he has decent power.
Yeah,
he just has no cardio, can't defend takedowns, and can't get up. So he doesn't have to work on too much. Just this entire game.
Montserrat Ruiz, Jacqueline Amorim, I believe. Oh boy, I am far away on this page, but plus 200 for Montserrat Ruiz. Minus 250 for Amorim. I will tell you, I don't like this at all. I just don't like the line. I don't trust Amorim to get it done, even though I believe you said this should be pretty easy for her. But I guess I'll wait to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. She's not big. She has like really long arms for a woman in general, but especially a 115er. I think she has like a 68-inch reach. She's only 5'3", but dude, Montserrat is like she's maybe 5 foot.
She's
and
so
she might have a 60-inch reach. Like she is tiny, man. She's Luma Luke Bunamy size. Like she should probably fight up 105. She has a nice she kind of just does one thing. She gets like a little scarf hold, head and arm throw. Like that's what she does. I think she's like a 7-time Mexican something wrestling champion or something. Like she has some credentials in wrestling, but like, she's just so tiny. And the thing about Amorim is she's pretty much first round sub or bust. And I know she lost to Sam Hughes and she got outstruck and whatever, but all her fights have gone one round, I think, right? Amorim, all first round sub, yeah. And some of them are like, a minute. So obviously that was a tough adjustment. And Sam Hughes is a veteran. But, dude, she had her in that first round. I don't know. I know people are like, oh, Sam Hughes, she put her fingers in Amorim's glove, and that's why she didn't get tapped out. Because that rear naked choke was in. But that's fighting, man. You know, the last thing you're thinking about when you're getting choked out is, oh, are my fingers inside her gloves? I can't do that. You're trying to get the fuck out of it. And she got out of it, and then she won. So, maybe things get weird after the first round, but Amorim's much bigger. I think she's probably the better striker. And she's a dangerous black belt sub, submission artist, trains at ATT. Conejo's just so small, and she can only do one thing: grab you by, kind of bully you with a head and arm throw. I don't see how she does that here. Even if she does, she probably gets subbed off her back, off of Amorim's back. So give me Amorim by sub. I would be curious to see what that number is.
Sub is everything is what's called minus money. So
all right, what about first round sub?
Ooh,
is that a thing? I don't see it.
Amorim in round 1 is plus 130. I don't have a specific result. Hold on, I can get
that
right now.
For round
plus 170 in
might...
sub. Yeah, is plus 170. So it's not really that.
Yeah, give me that.
You want that?
Yeah, I think. I honestly do. I think she should do it really easily. I think she's going to do what she did to Sam Hughes, except she's going to finish it.
Sub plus 175. I am going to stay away. Don't trust it. I like everything you said, but I just I have too many plays to begin with, so I can't. I have to chill the fuck out. Damon Blackshear,
Sure.
Jose Johnson, Jose Lobo Solitario, who is, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Texas. I know you guys all know who Lobo Solitario is. He is making his UFC debut, coming off the Contender Series.
Yeah.
Win against Jack Cartwright. I know you guys all saw the Jack Cartwright fight. He's an English gentleman, so sometimes those guys can be fraudulent, but
all the time.
Yeah, usually all the time. What is the line here? Do you have that?
I think Blackshear's like minus 300.
He is. Minus 300, 292. Jose Johnson's plus 235, 220. I guess I'm going to stay away from this one too, probably, because I don't know much other than that Contender Series fight about him, and I like Damon Blackshear, but Damon Blackshear is a guy who sometimes just, shit doesn't go his way. I mean, he lost to one of the Basharab brothers, but that's not that's not to say that the end of the world, He only has 1, 2, 3 UFC fights, and he's 1-1-1. So, I don't really know a draw to Yusuf Zalal, which has not exactly aged all that well, and then Luan Lacerda, who I haven't seen him in a minute. That wasn't that long ago.
It just happened.
Oh my God! What am I talking about? Dude, all these fights.
What are you saying?
Oh, Kaikar, France, and Albazi. Yeah, that wasn't a card that I was
forgettable. Very forgettable.
Yeah, I wasn't too locked in on the first couple fights of the night, if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna stay away from it.
I'm gonna fire Damon Blackshear by sub.
Okay.
I think he has an absolute easy grappling advantage here. Jose Johnson, pretty decent on the feet. Like, but he also got absolutely dismantled in 30 seconds by Madden Martinez. Ronnie Hart smoking on the Contender Series. Back in LFA, I forget who he lost. Armando Villarreal took him down a bunch of times. He's been choked out. I think Blackshear is going to walk through him, especially on the ground. He's supposed to fight Brady Highstand. I wish he did because I want to see Blackshear fight him, but he got the staph infection. So
that's not good.
We got Jose Johnson, who pretty much seems like fight anybody. So at least he's got that going for him, but not very good.
I'm gonna take. You got 175 there on that sub. I'm gonna take inside the distance plus 130. So
I like it.
Yeah, I don't really like it, but I don't know. I don't know much about Mr. Lobo Solitario, so I'm gonna fade him and hope that it goes my way. Juju, this is the last fight of the night, or first fight you're gonna hear about. Last fight we're talking about. Juliana Miller plus 130 to Luana Santos minus 145. Ty, you have said before, I am almost about to throw up on my keyboard right now, but you have said that you are going to fire Luana Santos and that it is your nuclear mega whale play of the day. I don't know if you still feel that way. I don't know if you still feel that way, but she's making her UFC debut. She is, I believe, a submission specialist. That kind of feeds into Mr. Juju Miller's kind of game. So, Ty, what are you going to take here?
Yeah, she has like a very extensive judo background, and watching her fight, there's a couple fights where she's went to a decision, but she's very young, very green. I think I think she's 23. Also, great follow on Instagram. Very informative person, if you will. But yeah, I think she's gonna have some mess ups here and there. But I went back and watched her fight, the fight before she got here against Bartira Rodriguez. That chick wasn't that bad, honestly. Had a nice lower body, if you will. And was kind of decent. Luana Santos has I don't want to say the best striking, but she has some power and she throws some very quick hands. And then when she lost this chick Jenna Bishop in LFA, but that chick's 5-0. I think she's like a BJJ specialist. Like she's been competing her whole life. So I don't think that was even a bad loss. Honestly, that chick went to Bellator and has already won a fight. So she'll get reversed. I think for sure. I think maybe Juliana Miller can have some success if she somehow gets on top of her, because Juliana Miller does like to do, some damage from the top. She likes her ground and pound, but the problem is she's just not, honestly, I don't think she's ready for the UFC. She's so green.
Yeah.
She lost her last fight before she fought in the Ultimate Fighter to some Claire Guthrie chick.
She beat her in the Ultimate Fighter, though, for the record.
Oh, there you go. So you
can tell I'm
the Veronica. Yeah, her whole life. The Veronica Hardy loss was just so bad. Veronica Hardy had concussion issues. She changed her last name. She hadn't fought in 12 years, and she smoked Juliana Miller.
Yes.
I think both chicks are green. I think Luana Santos is just I don't know, she's not bigger, but she is big. They're kind of the same size, quicker. She's better everywhere. She has a couple Americanas, which I watched the one and I didn't know how the fuck. It was like a judo toss into side control into a goddamn twister is what it looked like. So I think she's gonna sub her. I like her. What's her sub here? 500. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, 550. I thought you were saying that in your own head. I was like, wait, is he gonna take it?
I don't even know who I talk to half the time.
That's true.
Myself, maybe.
Randy Orton, the voice is in your head.
They're getting louder. Yeah, I'd like her by sub here. I mean, most of her wins are by sub. Maybe it goes the distance, but Juliana Miller is really, really weak defensively all around. Her grappling sucks. She has that tall woman's defense.
Yep.
So, yeah, I got Luana Santos by sub. I think this is one of my favorite parts of the card, honestly.
I like this a lot, and I'm not going to take it on the card, but I would take Santos TKO because I think her striking defense is some of the worst I've ever seen Juliana Miller's. So, yeah. I mean, maybe she does end up on top and starts ground and pounding. I think her submission game is very good, and it's and her defense of submissions is pretty good because she was put in some tough spots on the Ultimate Fighter, and she would get out of it. But I could see, I mean, she would get hit and just like she wouldn't necessarily drop or be done. So I don't know. Like I guess it's obviously a fluke play at plus 1,200. Number is wild, but
hey, you never know.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from
her. Just hit it on the Contender Series. So.
Yeah, well, that's what a crapshoot that is. But I'm gonna stay away from this one and just take my card as is. Are you taking anything on this? I didn't have it. I didn't write it down. My bad.
Yeah, Santos sub.
Santos sub, and
Santos sub sounds like something you get sub
plus 550. I like that.
I like that a lot.
Shit, and there goes the book. So there is. There is UFC Vegas. I think this is 78, right? Maybe
it's one of them.
It's one of them. We're still in the Apex. So that is the card. Enjoy Bellator, whatever. I don't really care to talk about that. I'm kind of
290.
Now. Yeah,
298. Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares? Logan Storley. Shout out. He should win. Give me the guy who's fighting James Gallagher. So there you go.
Oh wow, going James Gonzalez. Upset pick of the century.
Yeah, I don't know. Where is this one? They said Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not doing the just gonna have all these guys fight in Ireland again like they always do and just run that. The Alley Cat. Shout out to the Alley Cat, who I haven't seen him in a minute. That's right. He fought Aaron Pico. I remember that.
Picogram.
Yeah. So a drop of salt in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Don't forget that one that John Jones tried to use after he got caught using fucking all sorts of shit. But
all the things. Some
boxing. There is some boxing.
Anthony Joshua Saturday afternoon. If you have the zone, if you don't, I understand. The co-main event is two just senior citizens that shouldn't be fighting anymore. Derek Chisora and Gerald Washington. I believe they have a combined age of 80. AJ is taking a massive hit from Dillian White pulling out, or actually testing positive for everything under the sun. Robert Helenius, like we mentioned before, just fought last weekend.
Insane.
In the boiler room in Sweden. Or Finland, I'm sorry. And the guy in the co-main, Gerald Washington, sent Mr. Helenius to the Shadow Realm a couple years ago. So that's kind of funny that he's in the main event and he's in the co-main. Yeah, Joshua should smoke him. He's like minus 400 by knockout, which is hilarious. And the card itself is not great, of course. But there is a Saturday night ESPN Plus top rank card, which is going to be in Glendale, Arizona. It's going to be awesome. I don't see much on the undercard, but I don't think really anybody cares about that. It's a lot of young, unproven guys. Manuel Navarrete, Oscar Valdez, the super featherweight WBO title is on the line here. It's going to be an awesome fight. They're both awesome. I mean, they throw like 1,200 strikes a fight, which is fucking crazy. Navarrete, the slight underdog. Kind of interesting. I kind of want to take a shot on him to win. But I don't know. Oscar Valdez has definitely fought the better competition, went the distance with Shakur Stevenson. But his last fight against Adam Lopez went the distance. Didn't think he looked great. I think, honestly, after that Burchelt knockout, his stock has kind of gone a little bit down. Maybe he peaked a little bit too much. But either way, I like Navarrete here. I think Navarrete's going to win a close one. But, man, it's going to be a banger. Saturday night, 7 p.m. I think the fight should probably start at like 10, maybe a little later. But if you're not doing anything, tune in right after the UFC card.
Yeah, UFC will be done. There really won't be anything combat-wise going on at that point.
Football preseason, but like,
who cares?
Give me a break.
Yeah, get real. If you're watching preseason, you're a fucking idiot. Sorry, I had to say that. I hate to turn off some of the viewers, but you're a moron. Seriously, what are you getting out of it? Unless you're gambling on it, and then you have bigger problems. But that is, I am not going to hate because I have gambled on some preseason football because there's nothing else on. I don't blame you. It happens, but. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. We'll be back next week. We will talk about the Navarrete fight. We will talk about the Joshua fight. We will talk about the Vicente Luque. We'll talk about Juliana Miller. We'll talk about all of it when we come back next week, and we will have all of the results and all of our bets and all this money that we have won after we hit all of these bets.
And we'll give out some Contender Series picks. I think this week's going to be pretty good. The main event is the best lightweight in Cage Warriors, and then the UK, George Hardwick, he's actually pretty solid. And then there's a couple guys on this Contender Series card that are from Turkey that have scary nicknames. The Last Ottoman and the Anatolian Wolf.
Jesus. All right, let's go, man.
And then we have a kid who looks like he's 16. The baby-faced killer. He actually looks like he's 16.
The Contender Series is back.
We're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
The first week was boring, but week 2 is going to be promising. Rachmaninoff, Shavkat's sister, is going to be on week 8, so that's fun.
Oh, my God. Really?
She's terrifying, yeah. Her last name's Rachmanova, so not sure how that works, but...
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we are out of here, but Ty will leave you with one final tidbit of advice.
Lil Tay is not dead, so R.I.P. Lil Tay. I want to rescind that from last week's episode.
Long live Lil Tay.
Long live her death. Short-lived.
You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.